Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. She is being a whole medieval nerd this week, so by the time this goes up, just like the video that probably posts right before this one where I went through some of my costuming for the Renaissance Festival we're going this weekend, this will probably be a month or so after we actually go because safety first. But yeah, so I'm in the midst of getting ready to go to Renaissance Festival this weekend with my family. We're going a couple of days early. When I say we, I mean me and my husband. I came to the marriage with a camper. She had a 22-foot camper, loves it, loves camp, love everything about it, love camping with friends and the whole thing. But there is a campground near where we're going to be staying. I'm sorry, near where the Renaissance Festival is. Her brain is in 1,000 places today. Just so much going on. And then the week after, we're going on family vacation to Mexico. Like, I've a little bit checked out of work. Like I had a class to teach first thing this morning, and now I'm kind of like in the middle of the day where there's like a break, and then I've got a whole bunch of meetings this afternoon after lunch. So I thought I'd squeeze in a couple of things before I have to get back to it. Why so much work right before vacation? Like that's when it piles on. But part of the fun of what I'm doing is the Renaissance Festival is a little more fun for me this year, not just because we're camping out so that we're close and all that kind of stuff, but I just joined the SCA with my husband. If you don't know what the SCA is, I am no expert, so I'm going to give you my layman's explanation. It is the Society for Creative Anachronism. It's my best description of it is folks who are really appreciative of the medieval period of history, and then seek to celebrate the arts that surrounded that time, whether it is the martial arts, sword fighting and that type of thing, riding horses, archery, the combative arts, the martial arts, which I respect as a practitioner of Taekwondo, or the arts of the culinary arts, the food. And then there's also the crafting arts, the building of things, the making of garments and all that kind of stuff. And they just celebrate it. And when you get into the SCA, one of the things you do is you craft a persona that matches somewhere in medieval history, create a name, a character, a persona, and you get to participate in all of these events and cultural structures based around the medieval times and where your character is based and all that kind of stuff. Like it's super fun. Last month we went to kind of like an orientation to it for me. My husband's been in it since he was a kid, I think, and a lot of his friends are in the SCA as well. I'm joining so she can become queen by right of her own hand. That means I'm gonna fight my way to the top, and I'm real excited about it. And then, there's events you go to. So I almost would call them miniature Renaissance festivals, because I've been to one big event. It was around last Thanksgiving. It was last November. And there's apparently always some kind of feasting that goes on. There are people who work in the SCA that are volunteers. No one's getting paid, that show up and do things like organize food and events, speeches, the fighting, all that kind of stuff. And, it was in a park that wasn't too far from where we live. And it was cool. There's like these big jousting arenas set up. There were talks about, how to make your own costuming for the SCA. There were people smoking turkeys and making all kinds of these dishes that have been long forgotten in the annals of history. Like it was really cool, and everyone was super nice and super welcoming. One of the things they did for brand new people was the reigning king and queen of the time put together little like SCA prep kits. So they gave us these. You could pick out a prize, and this is the one I got since it was my first SCA thing. But it's got like a little notepad in there, a pair of scissors in case you like rip your costume, like a little costume fix-it kit. So it's like an old medicine bottle with like a needle and thread and stuff in it, hand sanitizer, just little stuff like that. Like, what is this? Like a little chapstick, tissues and stuff. So this is part of my SCA gear. But when we went to the orientation last month, they had a table of stuff where they were just giving away things that people might want, stuff that folks have collected over the years that they either don't fit or don't have a use for, or if they're like me, you got so much of a thing that you can give it away. Like I've given away action figures. I've recorded a video on my channel talking about action figures I'd like to give away once the channel pays for itself. So that was cool. So I got to pick up some things. I get to combine it with some things I already have, because when you do like feasting and stuff at the SCA, everybody brings like their own like dishes and stuff, like your cutlery and your tableware, because you it's to the time. So you're dressed and you've got your tableware, and you know you're eating all this really cool food that's from a different time and place. And it's, again, what, say it with me, y'all, what's our favorite word on this channel? Escapism. Just a little fun escapism, and the people are cool, the environment's cool. But I'm putting together my SCA basket because we're going to start participating more in events, especially through the summer. You know, so why not? So I had some things that I think already worked, but I needed to get a few things, and I want to show you some of the stuff that these folks will just let us have. Like, cool, right? So something that I already owned, which everyone should have, was a picnic set. This one's really cool. It actually, let me open it up here. I'm sitting on the floor, so work with her. It actually comes with service for 4 people in it, and it's a good sized basket, and we use it. We've used this on more than one occasion. I'm going to scoot back here so that I can set it down in front of me as I build my kit. It comes with tableware for 4 people. Moving my camera just a little as I adjust some things down here. There we go. Hold up, y'all are seeing too much behind the curtain. She has adjusted. Like, I'm not used to this hair yet. It just, I don't know how I want it to lay, but whatever. So this actually comes with service of 4 glasses, 4 plates, silverware, and napkins. Great, right? The first SCA we went to, I just took this with us, and this is what we used for the event. But then I looked around, and everybody else had, like, you know, medievally stuff, and I was like, oh, where do you get that? And my husband does woodworking. He doesn't really have room to do it right now, but we're building him his own garage, so he's going to get back to woodworking, and he can make bowls and all that kind of stuff. He has a lathe and all that. But folks had stuff that they were just giving away. They were like, hey, we have duplicates and extras and stuff, so would you like? And I was like, did you say free? So let's look through some of this. It's now going to go in my picnic basket that's officially going to be like the SCA basket. So one of the cool things they have were these really cool, like, tableware glasses. My husband has one already. I didn't have my own, so I took one of each for the mead and for the beer. Or is this for wine? I don't know. But nice goblet, nice little, what is this called? I don't know. So I have new nerdy things to learn now. Like, I needed another hobby, right? But it's something we do together. So, like, when you find your nerd, find those things that you can do together. Like, I never got into, like, LARPing, live action replay, or anything like that when I was growing up. I never knew the SCA existed. Like, she was an anime nerd and a goth nerd, and a book nerd, but I never really got into this stuff. And now that I'm grown and, you know, work, we can indulge. So these are really nice. Yeah, they need to be cleaned, but they'll usually be with us in the camper, which, you know, plugs into city water and stuff. So these go in. So we're going to go ahead and stick those in our basket. The next things were actual, like, you know, things to eat off of, which, again, my husband already had his, but I didn't care. So these 2 beautiful wood plates, and they actually have a little, somebody's little coat of arms thing carved in the bottom. Don't care, don't know what it means. They're beautiful in wood, and they're to the period. But check this out. We also have the little saucers, and then we have bowls as well. So is that not the cutest little set of everything? Are you one of those people like me? Okay, so too much about me. But I like little kits and setups of things. Like, I just find that great. Like, I love a tea set. I'm a tea set nerd. One of these days I'll do a video. I think I may have done one a long time ago when I first started my channel, but I have more than one tea set. I just love the miniature pomp and circumstance of it all, like, on a small scale. You know, I've got the ones where, like, you got a little burner and you heat your tea. I have Chinese tea sets. I have a Korean tea set and a Japanese tea set. I even have an Arabic tea set, one that you're supposed to set in the sand and heat it up. So that's on my to-do list for next summer, is when we redo our patio. She needs a pit of sand outside to heat coffee. But yeah, these are really nice, and they gave these to us. Now, they had bunches, the person who gave them away, and I really appreciate it. So if you see this video, like, I truly am grateful. Thank you for being so generous and kind, because it gets you started. So when you're looking to get into, you know, nerdy stuff, I'm going to put this stuff in the basket while we talk. When you're looking to get into certain hobbies, who you hobby with matters. Now, look, I'm not going to guarantee to you that, like, every hobby you get into, there's going to be some folks giving away free stuff. Like, let me not even make that promise for people I don't know. But what I can say, like, with the Warhammer, you know, it's an expensive game to get into. Not gonna lie, it is. The novels not so much. Each novel brand new is $10 for the little ones. The big omnibuses, $25, the average price of a book. You know, so and then there's always audiobooks and whatnot, and people borrow books and whatnot. That's a little bit easier of a thing to get into, but when it came to this, people were so kind and willing to give so much advice on how to do it. It matters who you hobby with. Like everyone's in a different place. We might all be in the same storm, but we're all in different boats, right? So what one person's able to do and accomplish with their hobbies and whatnot might not be where another person is. I didn't know about any of this, and obviously I probably could have gone and got it, but it was so nice that they were just willing to get it, because I didn't know where to get particular things. I didn't know where the Viking apron dress came from. Once I found out, I got my own, and with our Warhammer people, there are folks who always bring multiple figures with them. That way, if somebody shows up and they want to try the game and it's their first time, then they can. So find great people to nerd with. The greater the people, and don't just find great people to nerd with, be a great nerd. Right? Like be the change you wish to see in the world. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And this was a great little wood bowl as well. So this is my stew bowl. My husband has his own. This one's mine. So that's going in my little picnic basket here. But wait, there's more. So doing a little rearranging here so it all fits. So this was really cool too. So then I also thought, well, just in general, so we have a more medievally looking cutlery and napkins and stuff, because what comes in the picnic set, it's great, but it doesn't really look medievally. So I went out and got some wooden cutlery to go with. I got one for each of us, but I haven't opened these yet because we've not used them. But look, little fork, knife, and spoon made of wood. I love that. But it also comes with straw. Is a straw accurate to medieval times? Don't know, don't care. It came in the kit. But also has chopsticks, which these will be for me. Fun fact about me, I probably eat with chopsticks equally as much as I eat with a fork and knife. And that's just because of my experiences. I've spent a lot of time in Asia, I've spent a lot of time in Europe, and you pick up certain habits when you spend a lot of time outside of your own culture. I've spent a whole lot of time in Mexico, a lot. In Mexico and Guatemala and whatnot. So I have a lot of habits that are, I guess, would be considered south of the border, very Mexican habits, but I've spent a lot of time there. I pick some things up, and then, vice versa. People spend time in your culture, they'll pick habits up, and chopsticks are a habit I picked up that I haven't put down. I like that you can't overstuff your face, typically. And it allows for, I guess, more measured eating. And at least for me, like, because you have to take smaller bites unless you're real good with these, you tend not to overeat as much. Doesn't mean you can't. You can. I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. I don't know. There's just a certain, subtle elegance to chopsticks that I really like. When I moved in, I brought like 60 pairs of chopsticks with me. My husband was like, "Where are your forks?" And I was like, "We don't do that here." No. And I make a lot of Korean food too, so just chopsticks, the Korean spoons is what I use a lot of. Even comes with a little brush straw. Is that not great? It has its own little wooden butter knife. I know, right? It's so cute. And then this little teaspoon, which this is great because once in a while I'll make matcha. Matcha's an acquired taste. If you don't know what it is, it's green tea, but a very specific type of green tea. It's not for everyone. I like the taste of salty and bitter. I lean towards that over sweet. Like who can put away a bag of Lay's is me. So I just don't bring chips in the house. But if you like bitter beers and stuff like that, or if you like a really dark wine, you'd probably like matcha. If that's not your flavor profile, it's not for you. Like one dish that was introduced to me while I was overseas a while back, was the, what is that stuff? It's like these, I think they were fermented soybeans. Natto, that's what it's called. And you stir it and it gets, a new texture from the fermentation. It wasn't for me. Although I do like a cloud egg over rice. Like one of my favorite quick dishes is to use my little rice cooker, put some rice in it, throw it, once the rice is done, crack an egg on top, put a little furikake on it, and we're done. Like that is a perfect breakfast. So yeah, To each their very own. It even comes with like a little spoon and chopstick holder. I love that it's a spoon holder too. I hate putting my cutlery that I'm using to eat on a dirty table. And then look. Even better. Look, it's got this little thing to wrap it all up in. Stuff like this makes me so happy. like whoever came with this little kit thought of everything. And it wasn't expensive. It was like $9. And then you get like your own little napkin as well. And I thought the pattern kind of looks like Yggdrasil, doesn't it? So it kind of fits the medieval-y, Viking-y theme. And this is the same color as my apron dress. I ordered one more red apron dress because if we go to a long event, there can be like 3 or 4 days of SCA stuff going. And she needs a new fit every day because she's that way. Look, y'all, when you get to a certain point in your life, like, look, your 20s are where you make all your mistakes, okay? Free and clear. Like, if nobody told you 20s are for all your errors, all right, you're learning, you're establishing who you're going to be, you're really figuring out who you are, that's where all your mistakes happen. Like, enjoy the ride. Then don't let anybody take your journey from you. Your journey is your journey. Let people have your journey. But then you better learn from it. So about 28, 29, 30 years old, whew, put them feet back on the ground like, okay, that was a wild ride, those 20s. Let's fix our mistakes. So 30s are where you correct everything you screwed up in your 20s. And then there's 40, baby. And if you do it right, the 40s and the 50s are really good years. Because those are actually your maximum earning potential years. So you're putting away more for retirement. You're making your home exactly what you want it to be. But you should be at a place where you're not only able to pay for the necessities of life and be responsible, but you can also pay for some escapism and fun. She's not 30. So I've made it to that stage in life where we can enjoy a little escapism and fun. And you're also looking at years of accumulation. I've been collecting since I was a young teenager, so this is 25 years of collection. This is not an overnight collection. This is working at Annie Ann's Pretzels and spending all my money at Tower Records and Media Play. Or the Hot Topic. This is being in the right place at the right time. This is meeting good people who said, hey, you're a dork. Do you want this? Like, literally, I've had people just, some of this back here, people have just given me because they're like, you're a nerd. You'll like this. I found this in my basement here. And then, of course, you know, the things I've just acquired because I wanted them. But doing fun stuff like this, these are the things that, you know, just make life a little bit more, it's not so gray outside. There's not so many clouds. The last thing that we got was these. These are just Moscow Mule glasses that have been upcycled. They never opened them. So I think the person who had this stuff, because I think one person had most of the cutlery and dishware that was being given away. I think they must have owned a store or something and they just have a surplus inventory. I don't know. But these are perfect celebration glasses and Moscow Mule glasses. We love a mule. Have you ever had a peach mule? Oh, delish. But anywho, these actually kind of fit the period on their own because, you know, yeah. So, I mean, come on, can't you see it? Can't you see it? Do it with me now. You know, because we always eat feast style at the thing, so they pass the stuff around, picnic style, and we all get from it. And, you know, I can be good and Oliver Twisty now. Please, sir, may I have some more? More? Okay. Well, I really liked that version of Oliver Twist. And I've read the book more than once. Yeah, so these are going in. They're going in. So in the kit, I've got my cutlery in here for both me and my husband. And this is just for us. The kids don't do the SCA. This is for us. And then, of course, our little bag they gave me, that's in the picnic set now. So the picnic set is looking really good. So I'm actually going to close that up and put the latches on. There was something else I had hanging out in here that I really love. My mother-in-law gave me these, and she wanted to teach me to sew, which I'm still going to learn how to do because she needs a pink Viking dress, and I'm only going to get it if I make it. But my mother-in-law is a big sewer, and she taught my husband how to sew. But she had some gingham. So now we have tablecloths. So I have this beautiful gingham here. And there was another one she had that was very different from anyone that I'd seen before. But it is, look at this. It is all the colors that I love. It is pinks and teals and blues and yellows. And it is, I find this to be absolutely lovely. And it just stretched it out. I have to hold it back up now. But typically, you know, if you're going to a park or something to eat, you need a tablecloth. Don't eat on a dirty picnic table. Like in my camper, I have a tablecloth. It just, look, I love my fellow humans, but most of you are gross. So always have a way to cover where you're eating and whatnot and your own cutlery and stuff. But most of this is because people gave it to me. Like even the picnic set itself, I got that at the yard sale for my mission team. Like, oh God, like 7 or 8 years ago. It was brand new, and the person who had it, they never used it, and they sold it to me for $10. You know, so basically this, except for, you know, that cutlery I bought us, all of this was basically gifted to me. So you don't have to go out looking for a whole bunch of money. Be good people, know good people, and sometimes, you know, the good Lord will drop a kindness in your lap. You know, there you will have your time, you will have your moment. But my lunch hour is almost over. I took a few minutes to film a couple of videos, and now I'm going to go grab my lunch off the stove and eat and finish up my day. I've got some food in the oven for dinner tonight. Like, she's always doing 700 things at once, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So a couple of little sporadic videos here. They're different than the other types of videos I've done, but this is what I'm excited about in this moment right now, because we're Ren festing with the family this weekend, and it's going to be a good time, and I hope you have a good time this weekend. So as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.